I'm just going to teach you real quick how to do a high dynamic range photo in under 10 minutes. Now there are about 1,000 ways to do high dynamic range, but this is just bare bones, really quick, how to just quickly turn out a pretty good looking high dynamic range image. I'm going to grab this picture of my son and we're just going to drag over to Photoshop. Okay, wait, hold on. There we go. Alright, now there's my son. So we're just going to drag it to center for you guys and we'll get started doing this thing. So first off, what you want to do is you want to get your selector tool, you want to get over here and you want to duplicate that layer. I just don't even name it, just put background. So once you've got that duplicated layer, we're going to do a quick high pass. And how you do a high pass, so we're going to go up here and you're going to go to filter, other, high pass. You want to bring it down a little bit. I'd like to bring it down to around, I don't know, 30%. Let's see how that fares. Take that, I'm going to put it on soft light. Not crazy, not doing much to it right there, so let's do a hard light. Yes, a hard light's going to look better. You can see in the hair how things are starting to look cooler. So it's starting to look more dynamic. So once I am in there, I'm going to duplicate the layer again. I'm going to turn off the background layer because you don't want to affect the first layer because you may have to go back and use it again. So keep that background layer locked and going. So once I've got the high pass, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to just erase some of the elements that I don't think necessarily have to be high dynamic range. Because not everything has to be, in order for high dynamic range to work, you want to take the elements that look great dynamically and highlight them while taking away some of the elements and not highlighting them. So the trick here is to kind of go in and just kind of play with this. I erased the two shoulders because of that brown I thought looked kind of grainy. Now I'm going to go back in, I'm just going to get rid of all of that around there. Even back in the rocks, just keep his face at this particular point because I think the hair is going to look good. So once I'm done with that, I'll turn that back on. It's looking good, it's looking strong. I'm going to merge these two layers together. Okay, then we're going to duplicate that layer again. Once we have that layer duplicated, we're going to go back in here and we are going to go back and do another high pass. So, high pass. So once I'm in there, I'm going to pull it up a little higher. Now we're going to get much more dynamic with it. Soft light. I don't know. Let's go vivid. Yeah, vivid's way too much. Way too much. But maybe we can pull that down on the opacity. Don't worry about the yellows and the colors necessarily because we're going to try to drop the color out later anyway. But the vivid actually is working when I drop the opacity on. So we'll go there and then we'll merge these two layers together. Oops, put duplicate, sorry guys. Merge those two layers together. Okay, now that we've got that, duplicate again. I mean, it's really a game of, you have to do this over and over and over again. But we're just going to go straight for the saturation right now, pull that down. Once I have the saturation pulled down a bit, let's see what we have here. Let's take the levels, let's pull our blacks up. That's looking much better. Get rid of some of that. Ooh, no, don't want to wash them out. I think just bring down the mids a little bit. Okay. Okay with that. See that blemish? I hate that blemish. Okay. Now, duplicate it again. Turn it on, turn it off. You can see that already that's starting to look a lot better. Okay. Duplicate again. You saw that we merged those layers and we're going to duplicate it again. Now we're going to go to, I think that we're going to go ahead and do the Gaussian blur. Pull that up a bit. Probably got to put it up about 8. Now pull the opacity down just where you start to see the eyes. Okay, now I can kind of see the eyes because what we're going to go into, and we're going to take this Gaussian blur and we're going to really focus in on the points that we want to make dynamic. So I pulled that up. Now let's go in and let's erase, to take the eraser tool way down. Okay, now we'll go in and we'll kind of free up the eyes. You'll see how putting that back in the detail in the eyes really is making it. Once again, like I said, look high and dynamic. So once you're in there, let's also do the hair, because the hair is just going to look fantastic. I mean, I just think the hair is one of the coolest things. Like if you're going to do this on dogs or wolves, or not that you have like a lot of wolves you can just go do this on, but if you were to do it, you know, their hair would always look really cool. Not that I'm comparing my son's hair to a dog's or a wolf's. Let's get in there and erase that out. There we go. Okay, let's do the lips too. Lips always have some good detail in them. Those teeth, don't want to have blurry teeth. I think like the nose have a little bit more detail in it. We'll just kind of do the curvature right there on the bridge. That should do it on his face, and then, you know, possibly to the, no, I'm not going to do the rocks. I'm just going to let the face kind of be the focus. Like I said, this is a quick make it look right. So now that we got that done, we're going to go in. We're going to let's see, go into photo filter. I think we're going to probably try something really blue. I like cooling filters. I'm not crazy about that. I'm not crazy about that either. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, forget that filter. Okay, bring that down a bit. All right, I'm like, that's okay. So let's put just a little tint of blue on it, and then we're going to pull down our saturation again. So go in here, go to saturation, pull down the saturation. Okay. Just get more. Let's just go, yeah, there we go. Okay, so we went -51 saturation that time, after already dropping it once before. We'll kind of take the brightness down a bit. I think taking it down just a little bit from where it was might be nice. Then we're upping the contrast slightly. Okay. Now we're going to, just for my son's sake, we're going to go in there and we're going to take care of this blemish. We're going to do a quick clone stamp tool. That doesn't look good, right? That's not good either. It's white spots. There we go, right there. There. Okay, that'll do it. And now you can see a high dynamic range picture. Now, let's look at the other picture. Now back to it. Now back to that. Now back to that. Now back to that. I'm back to the other one. And that will be high dynamic range. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Like the video if you want to see any more.